We can face the difficulties of life head-on, unmoved by the highs and lows we experience on our spiritual path, if we keep a healthy equilibrium between good and evil. Makoto related a tale of a young monk who, while meditating by a raging mountain stream, discovered the secret to perfect balance, a salt rock that he had taken with him. In keeping with the growing interest of his followers in their spiritual leaders' tales, Makoto went on to explain a fourth reason: salt also has therapeutic capabilities. According to traditional Eastern medicine, salt can help ease muscle tension and pain. To demonstrate this point, we can put salt in our shoes to ease the mental and physical pain we experience on our spiritual path. A farmer's experience, the monk informed his followers, began with an open wound on the foot. The farmer discovered that immersing his foot in a saline solution helped alleviate the pain. Going on to the next reason, number 5. According to Makoto, putting salt on one's shoes is a way to show appreciation. Using salt with appreciation serves as a reminder to be thankful for the good and the bad things that life has to offer. Salt is a lovely earth gift, Master declared. As Makoto spoke, his students listened intently. As they absorbed the meaning of that apparently insignificant action, Makoto's followers listened to him with profound respect. But the monk had more work to do. He looked directly into their eyes and said, "My dears, there is a reason linked to this practice, though. When we put salt in our shoes, it is a rite of passage that connects us to past generations and all the people who have walked this earth before us. Every grain of salt represents their stories, their challenges, and their victories. We join an eternal bond of wisdom and resilience that crosses time and space, transmitting their spirit and strength in our footsteps." Faced with this revelation, the disciples were speechless, contemplating the depth of this apparently simple gesture. They understood that for Makoto, salt in shoes was not just an ancient practice or a symbol of protection and purification, but a connection to humanity itself and all the lives that have passed before them. Have you ever had the problem of sleeping in one position rather than another? Some people sleep on their stomachs, some on their right side, and some on their left side. Then there are those who love to do it curled up in a fetal position, and those who sleep on their backs again. There are those who love wearing pajamas, and those who don't. There are those who love having blankets on, and those who want to feel free. Well, if you are among those who have never asked themselves about the problem, thanks to the Zen story that follows, you will discover what happens if you sleep on your left side. Stay until the end, because what you will hear will leave you breathless and will make you seriously reconsider the way you are used to sleeping in a quiet Buddhist monastery located among the mountains of Japan. Immersed in the serenity of the gardens, the elderly and wise monk Shinzo chose to dedicate a special evening to revealing profound truths about our sleeping habits. The bright, round moon in the night sky seemed to bless the atmosphere of contemplation that spread among the devoted disciples gathered in the main hall. Shinzo, sitting on a tatami, began to speak in a calm voice, as if his words were a light breeze that caressed the minds of those who listened to him. Today, dear disciples, we will see why sleeping on your left side is the best thing you can do for your physical health and emotional well-being. The monk began. We will explore together the profound connections between the practice of left-sided sleep, the benefits for our body and spiritual awakening. Finally, you will understand why Buddhist monks have been sleeping on their left side for centuries. While the disciples were increasingly fascinated and intrigued by the topic, Shinzo continued his speech. In the ancient Eastern tradition, the connection between the body, the mind, and the spirit was an essential part of the path to wisdom and balance, and sleeping on the left side has always been of great importance. This choice is not random, but reflects a profound understanding of the physiological and spiritual principles that guide the practice of sleep. The first advantage of sleeping on the left side, said the monk, to achieve optimal lymphatic drainage. Lymph flows through our body, and it is important that it does so like a quiet river that flows gracefully through the earth. You should know that the left side of our body is the guardian of this vital flow because it carries with it a load of protein, glucose, and other substances. Sleeping on this side is like offering a clear path to the river, allowing our body to rid itself of toxins much like a river carries the dry leaves of drifting trees with a benevolent look. Shinzo turned to his disciples, masterfully narrating the second gift. The stomach and the pancreas are a bit like the deities of our internal temple. Shinzo, when we lie on our left side, we create a sacred space for the dance of these two organs, which cause gastric juices to move with the grace of dancers. In a theatrical performance, you see sleeping like this isn't just a physical act. It's an invitation to an internal celebration, a silent celebration of enzymes preparing our body for a new day. The monk, happy to see the disciples so interested in his words, continued talking about the third gift, derived from sleeping on the left side. He explained that purification is a true nocturnal ritual, with resting on your left side facilitating the flow of digestive waste like a stream through fertile soil and oil. In the morning, our body prepares for an elimination ceremony, a daily rebirth under the soft light filling the room. Shinzo elaborated on another benefit of sleeping on the left side, talking about the love of the heart. Our heart is the ruler of our body. He said with a smile that by sleeping on the left side, we offer the heart a perfect backdrop for its work. The aorta's messenger starts in a majestic arch towards the left side, like a traveler crossing a bridge, making the journey easier and the blood flow more harmonious. The monk stood up slightly as if dancing along with his tolls and continued with the fifth gift. Now let's talk about the spleen. The devoted handmaiden, this hidden organ guardian of our life force, finds peace when we lie on our left side. Body fluids become messengers of this peace, making their way to the spleen like pilgrims arriving at a secret sanctuary, nourishing and invigorating. How have you slept until today? Write it in the comments and let's discuss the topic. In the meantime, if you're enjoying the video, leave a like and share it. You will help us produce new content every day for your spiritual growth with a deep gaze. Shinzo introduced the sixth gift with a poetic touch reminiscent of nature. Sleeping on the left side connects us to gravity, the silent master who guides our nightly journey. Gravity becomes the guardian of our lymphatic drainage pathways, a silent companion that accompanies our body through its purification ritual. As the master continued, we also found balance between body and mind. Sleeping on the left side is not just an act of comfort for the internal organs and for our body in general. Ancient Oriental wisdom teaches us that this way of resting enriches our health and our connection with the internal and external world. It is a true homage to life, which reveals itself in the dreams and quiet of the left side. Sleeping in this way is not just a rest for the body but an opportunity for inner and spiritual awakening while the world lies in deep sleep. As practitioners of left-sided conscious sleep, we immerse ourselves in the depths of being. It is a sacred moment in which the mind frees itself from the chains of everyday thought, opening subtle doors to universal awareness. Shinzo, still smiling at his disciples, explained the concept of the balance between yin and yang in sleep. The left side, in its more yin nature, envelops us like an embrace of the night. The chi that arises from this practice is a gift and an offering to our inner essence through concrete examples. Shinzo recounted instances where the monks, engrossed in the practice of conscious sleep on the left side, experienced an energy flow akin to a tranquil river coursing through their being. This vital energy, in harmony with nature, danced while their bodies rested, creating a harmony that resonated throughout the entire monastery. The benefits of this practice extend far beyond the physical realm, encompassing the spiritual realm and delving deeper into the analysis of its physical benefits. Shinzo told of elderly monks who, by embracing this practice, had experienced greater flexibility and strength in their meditation practice. Sleeping on the left side thus becomes a perfect complement to the search for enlightenment, preparing the ground for the mind and body. The monk said that between one story and another, he underlined the importance of bringing this awareness into everyday life, making it a healthy habit to never give up. It is not only in the quiet of the monastery that we can cultivate this practice. He emphasized that we should bring it with us into our homes, honoring our bodies as a temple in which the sacredness of the night resides. Focusing on the sounds of the cicadas and the river echoing throughout the monastery, Shinzo explained that nature itself instructs us on the significance of synchronizing our sleep with the world's rhythm. He explained that sleeping on the left side, akin to a leaf gently caressed by the wind, offers additional significant advantages. Sleeping on this side, he said, facilitates breathing, creating a harmonious synergy between the flow of air and the beating of the heart. When you lie on your left side, your trachea and esophagus take on a more natural and straight position relative to your spine. This alignment allows air to pass through the trachea and towards the lungs, promoting freer breathing. Furthermore, the diaphragm, which is the primary muscle engaged in breathing, is located under the lungs. Sleeping on your left side allows your diaphragm to move more freely, promoting deep, smooth breathing. The location of the heart on the left side of the chest is another key element. Sleeping on this side produces pressure on the heart and allows better blood circulation. Sleeping on your left side can help prevent acid reflux as well. With this position, the stomach sits lower than the esophagus, reducing the risk of gastric juices backing up into the esophagus. Moreover, Shinzo added, sleeping like this offers natural support to the spine, maintaining optimal alignment for a tension-free awakening. Have you ever noticed, asked the monk, that the spine has a natural S-shaped curvature? When lying on your left side, this position better reflects the natural anatomical curvature of your spine, minimizing stress on your discs and joints. Remember, said the monk, that sleeping on your left side is not only a way to make your body rest better, but becomes a path to awareness and spiritual growth. Just as Buddhist monks, being aware of the interconnection between body and mind, have always adopted the left side as the privileged position for sleep, you too should get used to doing so. This way, both your body and your mind will feel better. Do you often wake up between 3 o'clock and 5 in the morning? Have you ever felt a sense of uneasiness or curiosity when this happens? In this video, thanks to a Zen story, we will see what it means to wake up recurrently at these times. Together, we will explore the mysteries that lie behind these moments and learn how they can provide opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. Stay until the end, because you will discover that these nocturnal awakenings can reveal much more than you think. In an ancient Buddhist monastery located among the mountains of Tibet, lived the monk Karo, famous for his vast wisdom. His lessons on awareness and compassion were renowned far and wide, and disciples came to him from afar to learn from his teachings. One evening, while twilight colored the sky with shades of red and gold, Karo gathered his disciples in the main hall to answer a question they had asked him several times. Why do some people wake up most nights between 3 and 5, while others don't? Are these awakening phenomena related to chance, or do they have a meaning? Dear disciples, with a calm voice, Karo began, today we will explore nocturnal awakenings and their connection to Eastern medicine and Buddhist wisdom. Karo continued, explaining that the body's energy meridians and their influences on us are believed to link to night awakenings. Karo proceeded to explain how each nighttime waking time was associated with a particular organ or system of the body, and how Eastern medicine viewed these awakenings as signs of energetic or emotional imbalance that required attention and care. For example, Karo said waking up between 3 and 5 in the morning is associated with the lungs and emotions of sadness. This could indicate a need to address and heal deep emotional wounds, thus allowing our vital energy to flow freely. The disciples nodded, reflecting on their master's words and trying to apply them to their own experiences. One of them said, "Master, how can we interpret nighttime awakenings in the light of Buddhist wisdom?" Karo smiled, recognizing his students' deep curiosity in Buddhism. He replied that every moment of the day is an opportunity to practice. Karo shared stories of ancient Buddhist masters who, through meditation and contemplation, transformed their nighttime awakenings into opportunities to deepen their understanding of the human mind and soul, as towards ourselves and others. Karo said it is a time to embrace our experiences without judgment, thus allowing inner wisdom to emerge and move us forward along our path of spiritual rebirth. The disciples, listening with gratitude, felt inspired by the profound union between Eastern medicine and Buddhist wisdom that their master had outlined. Cairo emphasized that each nighttime awakening presents a chance for personal growth, learning, and connection with our innermost selves. These moments of awareness are priceless gifts on the path to spiritual fulfillment, enabling us to better understand ourselves and others. Stress and anxiety accumulated during the day can manifest themselves when waking up at night between 3 and 5 in the morning. Refusing to assist others without their request is beneficial for both them and you, so persevere until the conclusion, as the insights gained from Buddhist wisdom could transform your perspective on human relationships. Essentially, you'll understand how aiding those who refuse assistance can have detrimental effects on both your life and theirs, and you'll learn about the impact of your karma in a serene Buddhist monastery amidst verdant gardens and ancient trees. The old and sagacious monk Noro gathered his disciples to talk about a topic very close to everyone's hearts. His curiosity was palpable, and his eyes were fixed on Noro. They all wanted to understand more about the reasons why, when they had helped someone, things had not gone as they would have liked. Life is like a great river, and each of us is a small boat navigating this tumultuous course. Noro began in a calm voice. Often, we tend to jump into that current, trying to steer other people's boats without waiting to be asked to make the metaphor he had just used understandable. Noro shared a story passed down through the centuries. He spoke of a young monk eager to help a companion in difficulty without being asked. He felt that his act of kindness had not produced the relief he had hoped for, but had instead generated a sense of shame and changed the dynamic of friendship itself. In short, unsolicited help had created discord and confusion, demonstrating how in life even good deeds can have unexpected consequences. What we often don't understand is that each individual is at the mercy of their own karma. Noro explained that every action we take, good or bad, comes back to us like an echo. When we help without being asked to do so, we upset the delicate balance of another person's karma and paradoxically harm our own as well. The old monk told other stories such as that of a young man who, eager to solve the problems of a dear friend without her having asked him, found himself involved in a series of endless difficulties and misadventures. If you enter a labyrinth that is not yours, but someone else's without being asked, Noro continued, you could set off a chain reaction of events, creating an intricate web of karmic connections, and your gesture of friendship, no matter how sincere it may seem, could end up doing more harm to the friend in question and to yourself. Imagine wanting to cure someone without asking them if they are willing to give up the things that made them sick. Noro said suffering, often caused by past actions, and our intervention could alter the natural course of learning that the individual should ultimately experience. Noro then went on to talk about Buddhist teachings, highlighting how even he himself had resisted the temptation to intervene without request. Buddha the monk explained that he understood the sacredness of the individual learning process and how the karma of each being must be respected. Suffering is a very severe but precious teacher. Noro continued using other everyday examples to better illustrate the concept. He spoke of the many moments when seeing a friend or family member in difficulty, how empathy pushed him to offer help, and how instead, Buddha taught the wisdom of waiting for the person themselves to ask for help. Suffering is almost always the result of past actions, and karma is the supreme law that governs the universe. Noro said, when we intervene unsolicited, we enter a cyclic vortex that can drag us into other people's problems with unpredictable consequences for both of us. Remember, suffering is like a teacher who guides us along the path of spiritual growth, said Noro. To interfere with this process is to deprive others of the wisdom that only suffering itself can teach. Noro told other stories about daily life at the monastery, showing how the monks apply these teachings in daily practice. Dozens of monks I have trained, he added, became wiser and more self-confident men precisely because I avoided intervening directly in their problems. By resisting the temptation to intervene to solve certain problems, I allowed them to face their own challenges and learn the lessons that karma had in store for them. Every action we take is like throwing a stone into a pond, Noro said, using a metaphor to clarify the concept. The ripples spread and return to us when we help without asking. We not only influence the karma of others, but create ripples that can impact our own lives. In conclusion, what can we learn from this story, and how can it benefit us? It serves as a reminder of the wisdom of knowing when to intervene and when to wait. Karma, like an unbroken river, carries our actions with it, and the way we offer our help can alter the very structure of destiny. Before reaching out to help someone, we must reflect on what they really need. Noro admonished that not everyone seeks advice. Sometimes they just need a listening ear and an understanding heart. Therefore, let us always remember to respect the sacredness of the individual path of each human being. Help should never be an impulsive act, but rather a conscious gesture respectful of free will and the path of personal and spiritual growth of others and ourselves. Life is an intricate web of lessons and opportunities for growth when we offer our help without being cold. We can deprive others of the precious opportunity to learn about themselves. Wisdom lies in recognizing that sometimes the best lesson is to learn through one's own effort and experience. Therefore, let our help be a beacon of light offered when requested with awareness and respect, rather than a chain of unexpected events. Did you know that there are at least 9 strange events that happen to you while you sleep? How many times has it happened to you during the night to suddenly wake up in the grip of very strange sensations? During the night, our body abandons itself to rest and the mind ventures on a journey without borders among the folds of dreams and visions. But are dreams just the figment of our imagination, or do they lead us to deeper truths? And what secrets do the night hours hide when the soul seems to wander between invisible worlds? In the Zen story you're about to hear, we will explore the strangest spiritual events that happen open to us while we sleep. So stay until the end so you don't miss a single one. Only in this way will you understand if you too have experienced certain events. In the remote mountains of Japan, among silent forests and winding paths, stood an ancient Buddhist temple where the wise monk Shinzo spent his days teaching his followers the path to enlightenment. One evening, as the sun was preparing to set behind the mountain peaks, the disciples gathered around the fire in the temple courtyard, eager to listen to the master's words. One of them, with eyes shining with curiosity, dared to break the silence. Master Shinzo said respectfully, "What are the strange things that happen when we sleep?" The old monk smiled wisely, searching the eyes of his followers with deep understanding of the strange things that happened during sleep. The old monk smiled wisely, searching the eyes of his followers with deep understanding of the strange things that happened during sleep. He replied in a calm voice, "These are profound truths that are revealed only to those who know how to listen to with their hearts open. In the mysterious kingdom of the night, when the sky is painted with stars and the moon rises silently like a guardian of sleep, the world takes on an aura of enchantment and mystery. And it is precisely during these dark hours that our body abandons itself to rest and the mind ventures on a sunajo without borders. Sleep becomes a portal to unknown dimensions, an opportunity to explore the depths of the soul and discover hidden truths." With an eloquent gesture of his hand, Shinzo invited his disciples to come closer to him, and he began to tell a story that would lead them through the mysteries of sleep and spirituality. One night, in a remote village in the mountains, Shinzo had a remarkable dream. Began when a young monk named Kaido had an extraordinary dream. The firelight danced across his wrinkled face as the disciples listened curiously to this dream. Shinzo continued, and Kaido walked along the moonlit path, surrounded by an atmosphere of serenity and mystery. It was not just any dream but a prophetic dream. The monk explained that it was a sign of the mind's ability to penetrate beyond the veil of time. Kaido found himself crossing invisible boundaries and traveling through unknown worlds, soaring beyond his physical body. It was a real astral journey, an exploration of the vastness of the universe and our connection with it, said the monk, looking into the eyes of his disciples during his journey. Shinzo recounted that Kaido encountered the spirits of ancient masters who offered him wisdom and guided him on his path. Shinzo stated that communications with spirits are a reflection of our inner search and connection with the dive. During his dream, Kaido experienced profound spiritual healing as his spirit regenerated in his sleep. He explained that spiritual healing is a process of soul purification that leads us to true self-awareness. During his dream journey, Shinzo continued, Kaido felt himself lifted from his body and floated above it, free from earthly bonds. Out-of-body experiences, he explained, reminding us that we are more than what we see and that our essence extends beyond the confines of our skin. In his dream, a monk narrated that Kaido came into contact with his higher self, realizing his connection to the universe. Shinzo is an experience of unity and enlightenment that shows us the ultimate truth of our existence. Kaido's dreams were full of symbols and hidden meanings. Shinzo continued, explaining that these symbols and hidden meanings guided him on his spiritual path. He explained that dream work is an opportunity to explore the unconscious and integrate hidden parts of our psyche. And finally, Shinzo concluded a vision of the ultimate truth that enlightened his soul, enabling him to comprehend numerous aspects of himself. However, he posed a rhetorical question. Now, we will discover the precise journey Kaido embarked on during his dreams. First, he recounted his prophetic dreams to you. Of all I told you about his prophetic dreams, Shinzo began with a compassionate smile. They are like luminous paths that lead us to the future. Remember when a village elder dreamed of an impending storm and warned us in time? Dreams give us a vision of the time to come, offering us precious insight to navigate the waters of life. Before finishing Shinzo's story, he continued, we ask you to leave a comment with your experiences, and if you are appreciating the video, like and share it so we can continue to produce new content like this every day. Another experience lived by Kaido that I spoke to you about is that of astral travel. These are like journeys of the soul through the vast universe of the spirit. Imagine soaring above the snow-capped mountains and dancing among the stars, exploring worlds of light and beauty. In these moments, beyond the veil of matter, our spirit frees itself from the chains of the body and savors the freedom of the infinity that surrounds us. Kaido had another dream in which he communicated with the spirits of the old and wise masters. Shinzo said calmly that these communications, he continued, are like sweet melodies that resonate in the silence of the night. Every time we dream of meeting a deceased loved one or receiving a message from the angels, it is as if the sky itself bends towards us, offering us comfort and wisdom for our earthly journey of spiritual healing. The monk continued with deep compassion, which is like a loving embrace of the universe that envelops our wounded spirit. It is another event that happens during the hours of sleep. When we fall asleep, our body regenerates, and the soul finds inner peace in the arms of the divine every night. In essence, we are surrounded by unconditional love that heals our deepest wounds. Continuing the lesson, Shinzo spoke about out-of-body experiences, explaining that they are like flights of the soul into unknown and wonderful worlds. During sleep, we can leave our physical bodies and venture into spiritual places, meeting beings of light and receiving teachings directly from angels. It is an experience that reminds us of our true spiritual nature and our connection to the divine, an experience through which we can mend the wounds we carry in our hearts. The monk spoke serenely. We carry in our hearts and souls contacts with the higher self, like sweet caresses of the soul that guide us towards our spiritual mission. During sleep, we get closer to our higher self and receive clear intuitions and visions that illuminate our path, as if our spirit reunited with the divine source from which everything originates. Profound wisdom, which is another of the events I told you about in the story about Kaido. It is like a silent dialogue between us and our unconscious, which reveals the secrets of the soul to us. In fact, through the symbols and images that dreams bring with them, we can discover hidden truths and face our fears and challenges with courage and awareness. Night meditation, said the monk, mentioned night meditation as another experience Kaido had, comparing it to a silent prayer that draws us closer to the divine, and enables us to achieve enlightenment before falling asleep. As in a state of meditation that prepares us for a deep and meaningful sleep, it is a way to open our hearts and minds to the divine presence that envelops us in an embrace of love. Do you remember what happened to Kaito at the end of his dream? Asked the monk. He had an epiphany. Shinzo concluded with a radiant smile. Illuminations are like flashes of wisdom that pierce the veil of ignorance during sleep. In fact, we can experience moments of spiritual awakening in which we perceive the ultimate truth of existence and the beauty of the universe. It is a transformative experience that brings us into the light of divine awareness. The experience of enlightenment, he said, is the culmination of our spiritual journey and awakening to the supreme truth, the ultimate goal of a night of deep and restorative sleep. If you found our today's video helpful, please subscribe to our channel Buddhism Insight.